Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Yeah Gaming. I'm recording this one pretty early in the morning, I'm not gonna lie, so if I sound a little bit off, that's why, but thought I'd at least, sit down, record a video today, and talk about the whole MatPat situation that's going on. And I think I'd like to start my discussion on this whole thing by just giving a quick anecdote on what I was doing when that video came out. I made a tweet about this already, so if you follow me on Twitter, you already know this, but you know what, doesn't hurt to explain it here a little bit more in detail, right? So as you all probably know at this point, I am currently working on my PewDiePie Legend of the Brofist video, which, by the way, I'm officially at 46 pages on, so that's huge. And when I was writing that video yesterday, there was a quick joke segment in that video where I have like a theory about something that happens in the game, and it's played for jokes, it's played for goofs, it's played for gaffes, right? It's nothing serious, but it's in the script. And when I was writing it, I'm like, yo, someone get MatPat on this. Nah, screw MatPat, I'm gonna be MatPat now. Like, that's what I wrote pretty much, right? And then I go into like the stupid theory segment or whatever. And it's like, it was just such a normal thing to me, right? Like, you just write a MatPat joke in your script and you're talking about theories, because MatPat and theories have become so connected to each other on such a cultural level that it was just second nature. Like, of course I'm going to write a joke about MatPat in my script when I'm talking about making a theory, a game theory specifically, right? Like, duh. And less than an hour after I wrote that joke, I was made aware of the MatPat video. The MatPat video that came out just recently, where he announced that he's retiring from the internet later this year, in March. And wow, especially after writing that joke, wow, that hit like a truck. I don't think I was prepared for it. Like, there are certain things on YouTube that are just constants, right? I mean, I'm making this whole video on PewDiePie. Let's bring PewDiePie in, for example. Sure, he doesn't upload that much anymore, but he's still here. He still uploads. You'll see him on his channel from time to time. And even if I'm not like a huge PewDiePie fan, which I know, ironic considering how long this video is going to be, but even if I'm not a huge PewDiePie fan, I can still appreciate that he comes around and still uploads to his channel when he definitely doesn't need to anymore. He's so rich, so famous, he's set for life, yet he still uploads. It's one of those constants to YouTube. I'm sure Mr. Beast will also become another constant on YouTube in another 10 years. Like, I don't see him stopping anytime soon. I can't imagine the day Mr. Beast sits down and makes a video saying, I'm done with YouTube, right? Like, he'll definitely be around for a long time. There are just so many constants on YouTube, and MatPat was one of them. Game Theory's been going for so long. Like, I was a kid when Game Theory started, and there are new kids now just getting into Game Theory because of FNAF, because of other games in the modern day. Like, MatPat is a generational figure for children of multiple eras. It's crazy. And to see him just walk away from all of it it's nuts. I don't know. In that video where he talks about retiring, he talks about how himself and his brand and the whole, that's just a theory, that whole thing is so iconic at this point that it's referenced by YouTubers all over the website. And when I watched that right after writing that game theory joke in my script, dude, I don't know, it just felt more real. Cause yeah, he is that iconic. It's fucking MatPat. Overall though, I'm happy that he's retiring. Not that I'm happy to see him go, I'm just happy to see him be happy. It's clear that being in the position he was in for so long, where the one thing you talk to your wife about the most is business related stuff and not your kid or your marriage or whatever, yeah, that would probably take a mental toll on me too. So I'm glad he can finally relax a little bit, spend time with his family, his kid. It's overall a better situation. Now, the future of Game Theory is that it's being passed on to a series of different hosts for each of the channels, right? So Food Theory, Style Theory, Film Theory, and Game Theory are all getting a different host, which I saw Phil made a tweet on this on Twitter the other day. It does worry me a little bit. I can't think of a situation where a YouTube channel has been successfully given to someone else and not completely fallen apart. Not that they're not going to give it their all, or not that they're not going to be good, it's just the personalities behind YouTube channels are kind of everything. Like, you wouldn't be watching an Yeah Gaming video if it wasn't me. If someone else started talking in my place, it wouldn't feel genuine. You'd think, what is this? I'm being like ripped off, right? You just stop watching. And I really hope Game Theory is able to succeed for many years because it's such an iconic brand at this point. But I do worry that switching hosts is not going to be as successful as maybe they hope it's going to be. And even in Phil's tweet, like Phil said, I think MatPat knows this as well. He's done so much research on YouTube over the years. There's no way he doesn't know that there's a chance this completely fails. But obviously, I'm wishing them the best. But it is something to keep in mind whenever the hosts switch over later this year. At least with like the quality and the writing of the content, however, that's not changing at all. MatPat didn't edit his videos. He has a team of editors, and for the most part, he didn't write his videos either. He has just a whole team of writers that do it for him. So the actual content of the video will not be any different when the new hosts come, but it's just the style and cadence of MatPat's voice and how iconic he is that's going to be sorely missed. I'd like to talk a bit about my history with Game Theory. Obviously, I was a kid in the early 2010s when Game Theory was just getting started, so obviously I grew up with MatPat and all that. And I was around for the first FNAF theory, that fucking batshit crazy one that linked it to a real murder. Still crazy to this day. And I was there for when the FNAF 2 theory dropped. Whoa, it's Purple Guy, he's the killer. That's his phone guy. That was crazy. And then the FNAF 3 theory, because he got a copyright strike in his channel, so it got split up. That arc of FNAF theories was top tier. That was absolutely my most invested era in FNAF theories, right there. And it's all because of MatPat. He was spearheading that entire scene right there, and he still spearheads it to this day for the most part. Obviously, I watched other Game Theory content, not just FNAF stuff, right? His Mario theories are always iconic, watched a lot of those when I was a kid. I definitely watched the boobs video at some point when I was a kid. That definitely happened. I feel like that definitely happened. But over the years, and as I grew up, I kind of fell out of Game Theory, right? I didn't watch it as much. Maybe that fast, quick-paced editing isn't really for me as an adult as much as it was for me as a kid. Obviously, I still get why it's popular. It's good editing. But I kind of just fell out of it. However, the other Game Theory channels, the other theory channels, I actually really, really like Food Theory. As an adult, I found myself watching Food Theory a lot. I don't know why, but that channel in particular is just really interesting to me. Obviously, food stuff in general is just kind of cool, but Food Theory kind of resonates old Game Theory energy in Game Theory kind of just became a lore-focused channel after a while, which, I get it. But I do miss the older Game Theory episodes a lot, where it was more, what about this in gaming, huh? What about this or that or this? And that kind of feels like what Food Theory is, but just obviously talking about food and cooking and baking and whatever. And I really like that channel. I think Food Theory is really good. And actually, ironically, I think the other theory channels will really still thrive without MatPat as a host, because they just feel not as linked to him, even if he was the one narrating the videos, obviously. But by the time those channels were made, it was already in an era where MatPat wasn't doing most of the work anyway, right? Obviously, he's still doing a lot of the work, but not a lot, a very specific video to video basis. He was just kind of doing the recording, and if there was a part where he needed to film, he'd do that. But it was in that era where he already had a team of writers all coming together. So yeah, I think those channels will definitely thrive without him. Game Theory I'm a little more worried about, but those channels should be fine. Anyway, yeah, I totally wish MatPat the best of luck. Shout out to that one time he mentioned me and my sister location video. That was really funny. And everyone on MatPat's team I've ever interacted with, Dan, they've always been very nice, very nice group of people. I wish them only the best. They are fantastic people, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna miss him, man. I'm gonna miss him. You can't say you're not gonna miss him. I saw some people on Twitter being totally fucking Grinches over this. Get a life. Get a life, please. Holy shit. If you think MatPat is a bad person, you've never seen a bad person. Holy crap. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up there. How y'all doing? Haven't had a little bit of a check-in in a while. This was a bit of a more serious topic video, but yeah, how y'all doing? Keeping to your New Year's resolutions, hopefully. I know I am, thankfully. I'm keeping to my word of uploading this uploading this channel every single day. We'll see how long I can do it for. And yeah, hit subscribe, hit like, do all the things. I've been Yeah Gaming, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.